Welcome back to Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists. This week, we talk to not the actors, but the people who coach them into doing what they do. That's right, we're talking to acting coaches.
De Niro, Pacino, Chastain. All of these people are people who have taken classes with people who teach acting. They wouldn't be who they are without the guides they've had along the way. And we talked to some of those that do what they do.
From Suzuki to Meisner, they all got different ways of getting the goods.
So let's sit down and listen in. All right. I am afraid. I am afraid of you. I am afraid of your voice. See, this is like a great technique that I use with my students.
I know that technique. I know it. So that's great. That's awesome. I don't do that kind of stuff, but
it's amazing.
that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Amazing.
So yeah,
Powerful.
so I it's a group activity, kind of like you mirror each other and you mirror your basic feelings deep down, and you try to hit on something that is pain. But I think we're getting ahead of ourselves, or I'm getting ahead of myself. I know I just walked into this room and started talking.
Don't judge yourself like that.
Oh, come on. Well,
It's amazing.
half of acting
I
is
love it.
judgment.
Acting's actually fully judgment.
Wow.
I look at my students, they come in. I have a really colorful website. First
good.
of all. Really
That's
colorful
important.
website.
That's key. That's important.
really
yeah,
good.
because it draws the eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I they come in, they think they're gonna get someone, and then they get someone different, and it's me, as myself, and I beat them down. I beat them down to eventually build them up, if I so choose to build them up. Sometimes I just beat them down. Sometimes
Well,
I
yeah,
just beat them
half
up.
of being a coach is knowing how to beat somebody up emotionally. You know?
Yeah, you gotta tell them to stop. You gotta tell them to stop. You gotta listen to their instincts and then tell them no. Cut them down.
Yeah.
Cut them down.
Yeah.
Right. Move back home to Des Moines. You don't have it. You don't have what it takes to be a commercial actor in this town. I tell them.
There's so many of them from Des Moines, too.
So
They
many
come
from Des Moines.
straight over here. Okay, speaking of Des Moines and where everyone's from, I'd love to know your names, because I'd love to just dive in on who you all are.
Yeah,
Well-
absolutely. I'd love to start with that. I am Delilah Daisy. I am the founder of the Daisy Method, and I am the author of a book called The Daisy Method, and I teach out of a guest house in Marina Del Rey.
Amazing.
I've heard your
Beautiful.
work, and I've seen you before, and it's wonderful to put a name to the book and to the face.
It's great to see here. It's great to be here. I'm really excited to see everybody here because I've obviously known all of you, and I'm excited to be here.
Well, my name is Tricky Pahal, and I am an sorry, let me take that again. Froze up with the name stuff. I've always got the acting stuff, never gotten the slate down. So that's why I teach. Too scared to slate.
Those who cannot do, right? Those who cannot do.
Exactly.
I can do.
Teach. I've always hated that, but yeah,
I can
I
slate.
agree.
Now, can we see your hands?
Yeah,
I just
sure.
want to see your hands.
There we go.
Yeah, sure. I'm just.
Amazing.
Oh, sorry,
Those
I
are good hands.
messed up
Those
a
are
little
really
bit,
good
but
hands.
can't get that
Those are
slate
good
down.
hands.
But I do not teach the slate. I teach how to act. So my name is Tricky Pahal, and I teach the Tricky Method. It's a new acting technique, and I have a blog all about it on trickyacting.com. And I teach classes in an old shoe store in Marina Del Rey.
Okay. Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
you around. Yeah.
Yeah, so I see you around. Yeah.
I've tried to
I've
buy
seen you
some
guys
some Steve Maddens in your store, and then I've ended up kind of auditing your class on accident.
That
so
happens
you
to
sell
so many
Steve
people.
Maddens as well. You're the ones.
When I say it's an old shoe store, it's not a shoe store I've converted into an acting studio.
Sure,
It's a shoe
sure.
store that sells old shoes. And I
How
run
fun!
an acting class right in the back room, kind of the changing room area.
Amazing. In the changing room in the shoe
Incredible.
store. So the shoe store's got its own changing room.
Well, I walked
the
into that shoe
shoes.
You need
store.
for privacy, for privacy.
That's why I like it. That's why I like it because I don't want anyone seeing my feet.
Well, that's the thing with old shoes. I mean, that's their kind of like MO. You could get embarrassed very easily trying on old shoes.
Yeah.
I always tell my students, you got to be careful. Biggest thing you want to worry about, not your IMDb star meter rating, not Rotten Tomatoes, but your wiki feet. Your wiki
Yes.
feet.
There you go.
I've
It
seen,
can make or break
I've
you.
s-
This
Exactly.
is new.
I've
This
seen
is
it
2022,
make
baby. You got to play
Right.
the game. You've got to play
Right.
the game. The game is.
And
what
that's
you
what I tell my students. Everything is a game. My name is Esther Soggy Bottom. So that's Esther Soggy Bottom. I am a commercial teacher in Los Angeles. Those who can't teach. So that's my story. I've never booked a commercial. However, I do know how one can go about doing so. I
So
never
your
had
students
the
have
look.
booked? Have your students booked commercials?
My students have booked. Mostly non-union work.
Nice.
Because I don't believe in unions. I don't believe unions are just big cliques. They're cliques. It's big. It's cliques.
You're anti-union.
I'm anti-union.
Esther, do you still go out for commercials?
Please call me Miss Soggy Bottom.
Sorry, Miss Soggy Bottom. I thought we were a little more colloquial here, but that's fine.
Do I still go out for commercials? I do. I'm 200 South. I actually live at 201 South.
God, I love.
Oh, how
I live at
convenient
201.
to be
I live
right
across.
there.
You're right there. You're at the
Right.
Petco.
I'm at the Petco.
That sounds like the Petco.
I do.
I believe that's the Petco.
Yeah, I was working out of Marina Del Rey, but it felt like the industry itself. It was just oversaturated, sort of like improv classes. Anyway, yeah, live at the Petco. I find myself at 200 South often. I do live at 201 South. Please don't show up to my home. But again, I think it's really, really important that students take good care of their feet. So I think it's brilliant what you're doing, Tricky.
Thank you. Thank you
yeah.
so much. Yeah, thanks.
Amazing.
Well, my name is Denise O'Nall, and I am no bull, okay? That's what it says on my website. I teach commercial acting to children, and I work out of a small studio in Marina Del Rey, but also sometimes in North Hollywood. I am a founder of the one and only premier Bite and Like workshop in Los Angeles. Every kid commercial actor in the world who is successful has taken my Bite and Like workshop. It's 4 weeks, $10,000, every penny worth it.
Bite and Light?
10,000
Bite and Like. When you put a piece of you put the product in your mouth and you go, you like it. You
Bite
pop it
and
in your
Like.
mouth and you like it. It's a Bite and Like.
Bite and Like. I like
Bite
that.
and
I
Like.
like that.
Is that?
I
Did
like
you
that.
make that up?
Like, yeah.
Bite and Like.
Oh no, I learned it in my Russian theater classes. They taught me this, and I brought it over to Hollywood. But
You took classes in Russia?
yeah, I took commercial Hollywood acting classes in Russia, and then
Was
I
that
brought it over to Hollywood.
Stanislavski? Was it
Yes,
Stanislavski commercial?
I did
I
some
love
Stanislavski
Stanislavski's
commercial acting.
Got it.
Oh,
And you're-
incredible!
You're actually from Los Angeles proper, so you actually moved to Russia for the classes, the
I did.
commercial classes.
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
saw some great offerings online. I thought, this is the best. I didn't go to college, right? I'm self-made. I'm Denise O'Nall, no bull, and I went straight
Now, are you
to.
saying no bull or noble? I'm sorry. Are you saying no bull as in like no bullshit or noble as in like royal? Like,
I'm
I
saying
just want to
no.
make sure-
I'm not saying Nobel as in Nobel Peace Prize. I'm saying noble as in no bullshit. No
Your
bullshit.
last name is no bullshit. Your full length last name.
My
is
last
no
name
bull-
is Null. My name that I say is no bullshit.
It's like MD. It's like
Okay.
DDS. You say
Denise
noble
Knowles,
after.
Pretty common
Noble.
thing, Esther. It's a pretty common thing.
Oh, you just have to forgive me. I'm from Mozambique, and so just I can't be sure.
We forgive you for
Sorry,
being from
I
Moshe.
usually when you mail me something, I put NB at the end. NB.
Okay,
No bull.
NB. Okay, understood.
Okay,
Now,
good to meet ya. Good to meet ya. I'm Barry Fig. I'm Barry Fig, and I run a little acting class called Barry's Boot Camp. Barry's Acting
Well, that's
Boot
confusing.
Camp.
Well, that's confusing.
Yeah.
Because isn't there a workout class? People,
Yes,
there's a
Miss
whole
Soggy
workout
Bottom. And we were
Yeah.
first. We were first.
Okay. Okay.
But we're
That's
strong, small, and mighty.
Where are you
There's
located?
there's no small actors, only small gyms. And fuck
Yeah,
those
so-
guys. Those guys never picked up any of my lawyer's calls. And so now we're Barry's Acting Boot Camp. I teach all over. And I teach only men.
course. Sure.
Yeah.
Now, why do you do that?
Sure.
Why do you do that?
Sure.
It's just my method. I don't know how to handle those women. I
So
don't
your
know.
method is only men. That's the method is only men.
Yes, and I
the
have to be
actual
very
method.
clear.
Okay.
Yes, I have to be very clear that I don't believe men should be I don't believe only men should be actors. I believe in female actors. I just can't coach those girls.
Can I ask you something? What's your take on OnlyFans? OnlyFans.
I'm curious about that too.
What's my take on the website OnlyFans?
Because
pertains
it's
to
not the
acting.
Yeah.
I haven't. The colors on that website, do they pop or do they kind of?
Let's all
They're
go around.
mostly
Do we
blacks. They're mostly like dark blacks and grays. I
believe it's blues and
It's
whites.
like a navy.
I believe
It's like a
blues and
navy.
whites.
Miss
It's a blue
Soggy
and a white.
Bottom, you love
Yes.
these websites, huh?
Yeah, I absolutely love a website. My website is so bright; it just catches the eye.
Let's talk
Just
about our
catches the
websites.
eye.
I loved it, Miss Soggy Bottom. I'd love for you to describe your website in detail. I won't go to it.
Okay, you go to. Oh, you want me to say it out loud here?
Yeah, just describe it.
Yeah.
Well,
describe the
I
experience.
don't have a
Unfortunately-
computer, so I just need to hear it in my brain.
Yeah, I only
Okay,
have a
good, because
BlackBerry.
I can only describe it, and I'm willing to do it because to actually go to the website costs money. You understand? It's a beautiful website.
How much does it
I do
cost?
charge.
You've got to
You have to-
pay to enter your website.
Like a
Pay enter
paywall?
the paywall. There's a paywall.
Your domain is behind a paywall.
Absolutely, yes. It's a low $275 to just see the site itself.
So if
Okay.
you're a kid, you want to get into acting, you want to practice your commercials, you have to go in, type in your website, pay $275, and then see what you have available.
And then just see what's available. And all of my students are sworn to secrecy. If I find out that you've told anyone what's on the website who hasn't paid, I have done things that God is going to punish me for, and I won't say here. But anyway, my website, Orange. Orange catches the eye, and it's not a political color. It's just, it's bright, it's orange, it's bold font. It says, do you really want this? Do you really want this? That's the big, bold letters. And then underneath it, just in cursive, it says, really, do you want this? And then under that,
Is that in a different color?
Oh, you go soft. You go soft at the bottom.
And more of a peach. It's more of a peach. It's more of a peach.
So
you
your
go
palette
bold
is orange and peach right now.
peach. Yes.
Yeah, you
Correct.
said very
And-
colorful. I'm not seeing a lot of colors
Yes.
yet.
Well, no. Well, here's the thing. If one set, so you have an option there at the bottom, a button. You can push no. You know what? I've thought about it. I don't really want it.
You paid the money. You put your back out.
So you push no, you don't really want it.
And you can say,
You don't
actually,
want to-
thank God this website convinced me I don't actually want to live this life.
Exactly.
Do you have analytics on how many people have pushed no?
Yes, I do. I'm in touch with my SEO department. I have a SEO department. I have human resources.
No, you don't.
I've got interns. I've got
How many?
human resources.
How many people have pushed no? Like, do you have on record?
Even just in this last week, 37 people have pushed no. 37 people. 37 people who are going to move back to Des Moines.
There you go.
I
Also,
like
You
to
made-
think you're saving lives.
You made $250 off of 37 people
Yeah, each.
and didn't have to do
each.
anything else for them.
Nothing. But I did design a beautiful website.
Yeah.
So then you have the option to select yes, at which point you'll pay an additional $500 to see what's on the next page.
oh my gosh. Now, are these interns you have, are they in tech or are they acting interns? It seems like it's
They're
very
in tech, they're in finance, they're in fast food service. They run the gamut. My interns, they run the gamut. They're in the medical field. Some of them are teachers of social studies, mathematics.
Miss Soggy Bottom, I do have to bring something up. I have a lot
Absolutely.
of students who have come to me after they've gone to your classes or even looked into your programs.
Sure.
They come to me and they tell me, I really liked your website.
Sure.
Because I tried to go to Miss Soggy Bottoms and her website gave me a virus, a really, really nasty virus. That
Oh, well, did they want it hard enough? Did they want to get into that
Maybe they
website?
didn't want it hard enough.
well, did you know that your website is giving people a virus? I just
Well,
wanted
no,
to
because
ask
I did not know my website was giving people a virus because for a few days you're asymptomatic on the website and you don't know you're shedding.
you. So the virus hits later.
yeah, actually.
There are no pop-ups on the computer. It just shows up in a couple days through your email.
Exactly. And so that's why, you don't actually know. And you're just,
That's so sinister. That's so sinister.
Yeah, because for a few days.
So how long is the virus asymptomatic in the computer?
3 days. It's anywhere from 2 to 3 days. It varies from computer to computer.
Okay.
You know, HPs are one thing, Dells are another. MacBooks.
Are they contagious to other computers during that time?
My
is it-
staff is still trying to get the analytics on that. It can't be too sure. We think people with other computers are most contagious on the third day. We do think they're most contagious on the third day, but we don't have enough data at this point.
Yeah.
My
Well, let's
team is
hope
trying
that
to
your
collect the data.
let's hope that your interns in fast food can figure that one out for you.
These guys are brilliant. Brilliant. All of them, by the way, at one point I should mention, wanted to be actors. You know, they wanted to be actors.
Wow.
And they realized it's not for me. They went on the website, they paid the $250, and they said, no, you know what, I don't really want this. They clicked that, and then they were able to reflect. What do I want to do? What do I love?
Wow. You know, Soggy Bottom, Miss Soggy Bottom, I have to say,
Please,
you're doing
Miss,
the Lord's
yes.
work. You were doing the Lord's work by turning away anybody that doesn't really want it. If we could get a couple less actors in the world,
Right.
I think our
It's
world
true.
would be a
That's
better
so
place.
true. That's so true. Because
Yeah.
they have to. My website. I don't understand how computers work. My website is just Denise O'nall and an address, and you figure out the rest.
Sure.
And if
sure,
you
sure.
really want it, you would
Yeah.
infer that is a commercial acting class that you send your kid to.
Yes.
But if you don't
Absolutely.
want it, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be on my
Right.
website. You shouldn't be
I-
typing anything.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. I vehemently disagree. I believe that anyone can act.
Oh,
I believe
really?
that a lot of us do act. I believe
Anyone
we're
can
acting.
act. Do you think anyone should act?
I think anyone
Yeah.
should act if they want to act. I think acting should be open to everyone. I think acting should be basically like a community event. I think everybody
sure,
should be
sure,
allowed
sure.
to act.
Sure,
And
yeah.
I think it's insulting to turn anyone away. My website, I actually automatically uploaded my website onto every single computer. It's in your bookmarks already.
Is that like
You have
when
another virus.
So your
It's not a
website
virus.
is the virus.
It's
It
not a
sounds
virus.
like a virus.
It's
You
not a
two
virus.
are-
it sounds
I
like
worked-
when we all had iTunes and we all got that one song from
From
YouTube.
YouTube.
Too.
Yeah,
Songs
you
of Innocence.
too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And that's when mine was sent as well. It was lumped in. It was a PDF, and it got lumped in with U2. I know Bono. Me and Bono dated a lot.
You
We dated
dated
a lot
Bono.
at a bunch of different times. And
Okay, so
And
were
when
you
you said-
breaking up and then getting back together, or was it a lot of dates in a row successively?
you're going to have to ask Bono. I firmly believe that he didn't know I was the same person he kept dating.
Oh,
I don't know.
Bono.
I knew it was Bono, and
Right.
I can't talk about it, but I lumped it in
Well,
one
you
time when
brought
we were
it
dating.
up. You brought it up. You can't talk about it. You kind of are talking about it.
Well,
And
I no more questions on this. I can't talk about it. Let's just say Bono and I were really passionate on and off, not to his knowledge, over 12 years. I can't bring
Okay.
anything up anymore.
I'm going to tell you. I've got to tell you right now, just off the bat here. You know, this is we're chatting. We're teachers. We're connecting. But this is also a deposition. So careful.
Is it?
No,
Hold
right.
on a
I
minute.
did get that secondary email that this
Yeah.
is being recorded to the Library of Congress.
I forgot that they told me about this on the way in.
No. Hold on a minute.
also-
Yes, I forgot because I forgot that Tricky, you are under indictment right now.
Yes, I am
yeah,
very much under
tricky.
indictment. Huge legal problems I'm having. I've been avoiding taxes or not deposition
Okay.
for about 12 years now.
I remember signing
12 years.
something because some FBI agents stopped me and they said, "Hey, it would be much easier if we just use this as a deposition."
It'll be cheaper. It'll be
Those
cheaper.
FBI
because
guys,
they're
they hate
filming it.
setting up the cameras again.
Yeah.
They
They
hate
were just
doing it again.
pounding M&Ms in the lobby of this studio.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, they're
very
after
weird.
me. They're after me. I mean, that's a good question for the group. Has the federal government ever been after you? Because they are after me and have been
Sure.
after me for a while.
Sure.
I'm
I
technically a
have
nonprofit and charity.
I have my students Venmo me, and they put healthcare in the.
Yeah,
in
don't
the-
say that. That's
in
what
the
led to my
latest.
downfall. All my students were
I'm casual.
Venmoing me old
Get them off.
shoes. Old shoe,
Oh,
two
that'll
old
catch
shoes,
'em.
No.
2 months
oh,
of old
no.
shoes. Yeah, it was a
All of the-
disaster.
you know, I've never met any of my students, you see, because my students are all just online. We don't actually have a class. It's the website. It's where they get a moment to say, you know, step one, do I really want this? Do I? After the second page on the website is, okay, you said yes, but do you really want this?
So is your entire class taking place on the website, or does anyone actually
And
get to sign up
is
for your
y-
class?
Is your entire class just people paying after pressing yes after they say, "Do you want this?"
And what's the color on the second page?
Oh, the second page is a gorgeous coral. It's a
Coral.
gorgeous coral.
God.
Orange, then peach, then
Orange,
coral.
peach, coral.
Coral, yes. Orange, peach, coral.
That is catching of the eyes. That would
yes.
catch my eyes for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people fall off on that page. They say, I've now paid, what is it? $750 just for this. I realize I'm a fool. I need to go back to where I came from. I'm going to go back home. I'm giving up. Hands up. I'm going home, packing my bags. And when you really put people's back against the wall, when you just put their backs against the wall, you find out what really drives them. Are you doing it for the attention? Are you doing it for the fame? Are you doing it because you love commercials? Do you really love commercials? Have you been impacted by a commercial?
Yes.
So
Well,
have
back
to
against the
love
wall. Yeah.
commercials.
Back against
You
the
put the
wall.
back
Try
against
putting them
the
in
wall.
small shoes that don't
Yeah.
fit them correctly.
Oh,
They act their heart out, and that is part of the
Wow.
tricky Pahal method. It's all about getting people in the right size shoes to play a part.
I have to say I had an acting coach when I was growing up in Mozambique who told me, throw away the script. Take the script. You see the script here?
Wow.
Go to the restroom, soil it with your own fecal matter, then put it in the trash. Okay? A legend, all right? And he said, your shoes. So you're onto something tricky. He said, your shoes.
Wow.
The acting is in your shoes. Your
That's
shoes
what I
say so
say.
much.
This is
Your
so
shoes-
great to hear that people in Mozambique also are using my method.
So
This
what's
is
the-
fantastic.
what's
I
the
think
structure?
acting's in the dick, not the shoes.
Whoa, Barry.
Oh, sure. But what about but you think women should act too? But
Yes,
women
I
have
do.
a little dick. Women have a little dick. It's called a clit.
A little dick, yes.
I don't want to talk about my clit.
Barry, I've got a quick
You know,
question.
Delilah-
Does anybody ever come into your... I'm sorry. Let's go back.
I
Yeah,
want
why
to
do you
talk
want
about
to
my
talk
clit.
about it?
Okay, what's going on with your dick?
What's going on with your clit? Dick?
My clit? I have a clit. I'm a woman.
Okay. My apologies.
I don't want to talk about it. My name
Delilah,
is Delilah
I'm so
Daisy.
sorry.
My name is Delilah Daisy.
Is it because this is a deposition why you don't want to talk about your clit?
Yeah, I don't want the government to know about my clit. My clit is my business. That's exactly what I don't want to talk about.
I saw
I'll
a
talk
photo
about
of
my
your clit
clit.
on-
It's too big.
Let's.
It's too big.
Okay, now I'm curious about that.
Well, I don't know what more to say. It's just too big. I wish it was smaller.
Why is
it
it
big?
That's no bull. That
That is no
shoots
bull.
it straight.
That is
Denise
no
shoots
bull.
it straight.
And I would say the same thing to a little 8-year-old who is trying to walk and make it into commercial acting, I'm not going to give them any bull. If they want to be an actor, they're going to be exposed to words they
Sure.
don't know, to things they don't understand. I'm going to give it to them straight. No bull.
No bull. Now, can I ask who's your most famous student?
Oh.
Buy your time, buy your time.
Take your time.
What
Take
was
your
his
time.
name?
Buy
He
Buy your
was
time.
from
Buy your
that
time.
movie.
Lady.
He was
Find
from
it.
that movie. It was, I don't know if a lot of, Macaulay Culkin was his name, I believe.
Wow.
Holly
I don't know if
Culkin.
you've heard of him. He was in some sort of movie. I don't know. After he stopped doing commercials, I stopped paying attention. And I don't own a TV. I don't own a computer. But that's what I hear. I hear he got very big.
What? Yeah. Well, where are you listening to news? You to be inspired
Yeah.
by the news.
Oh, I have a
Where you
CB
listen-
radio in the truck. And I have my sister.
What kind of truck? Like a big,
Yeah,
like a.
I was curious
What
about
kind
the
of
truck
truck,
as
yeah.
well.
I
What
have
kind
a
of
big
truck?
rig. I have a big rig so that I can take my studio, my on-camera setup from Marina Del Rey to my studio in North Hollywood and back to Marina Del Rey.
And it's got to carry your big clit as well.
Hey, Barry,
Barry,
you cannot
Barry.
say that kind of stuff, Barry.
Only I can say that. Only I
Sorry,
can talk
I
about
rarely
it.
talk to women. I'm sorry.
Barry, I gotta
yeah.
know. I gotta know. What do any women try and take your class? What do you do?
No, I started out I was a pastor at my church, and I was the leader of the men's group.
Amazing.
And I quickly transitioned out of that into acting coaching, and I didn't
Just
know
quickly.
So, very quickly in a matter of just like,
In a hurry.
oh, it was like an afternoon.
Now, did something happen at the church? What was the
Afternoon?
Yeah.
In the
it was
morning
an
you were a
afternoon.
youth pastor. In the afternoon you were an acting coach.
Yes, I changed
Did you learn any acting in the meantime?
And you would include that as part of your strong part of your narrative.
Yes, and anybody could change within a small afternoon. And the afternoon is not as long as the morning or night. It's the shortest of the three.
Sure.
But also...
Sure.
Yeah, I think it goes night is longest, morning is second longest, afternoon is the shortest.
We all know that.
I learned that in Russia.
Oh, I'm dying to know what Stanislavski has to say about commercials.
Stanislavski says,
Well, yes, this is exactly what I want to get into. I want to get into the method. I want to get
do it.
into how we are approaching sides commercials. So let's hear
Yes.
about
Sure.
Stanislavski's
Sure.
commercial approach.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. Well, Stanislavski is it's naturalism, right? It's you read your okay. It's what commercial is this? It's Cheerios. You read it straight. You read it straight like you're talking to somebody in the kitchen, like nothing is happening, and then you really ham it up. Stanislavski doesn't include this in a lot of its teachings. A lot of Stanislavski teachers neglect to enforce the ham it up portion of Stanislavski.
I've never heard of this part of Stanislavski.
Right, so it's an entire
Ham it up.
naturalist focus and then a direct pivot to ham it up.
Wow.
Okay, wow.
And so that's what I
incredible.
do with my kids.
My technique, if I can, I just don't know if I can. Can I?
Yes,
Speak
you,
on my
you
technique.
can.
You're allowed,
Absolutely.
yes.
Miss Hoggybob,
Okay,
if you
did
can, you absolutely can.
Okay,
Please,
well then
Miss
I will.
Hoggybob.
You're begging me, I will. Sure. So, after the first page, the second page on my website, third page,
Okay.
the third page, you do pay an additional $5.50 to access.
All right, so
That's
we're
just-
in 1250 at this point.
I think 1,300.
1300.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. And that page is just blank, and you have to click around to try to figure out what's going on. Okay. what's going on? And people click, but you see how hungry people are. You can see how many times one individual clicks, and the individual who clicks the most generally goes on to be an award-winning commercial actor.
Okay, so
So they're just clicking around at blank sections of the website.
Until they
and you have
find
analytics. You
the
have
small-
analytics on
I have
how
the
many clicks
analytics.
people do.
Yeah, my staff has gotten me analytics. One of the biggest commercial actors. You all are familiar with Flo from Progressive?
Yeah.
Yes.
We love
Yes.
Flo. We love
course.
Flo.
We love
I once
Flo.
fitted Flo for a shoe.
Oh, and she took your course?
No, she was just for the shoes. I worked
just
at
for
the
the
store.
shoe.
I moonlighted
Okay,
at the store.
great. Okay. Of course, sure. And she was she clicked over 3,700 times over the course of 77 hours. That's how hungry she was.
That's a
Now
hard
you see-
work.
Now, that's great
the
because
hard
the
work.
legal definition of insanity is doing something more than once and expecting a different result. But she did
Yes.
that 3,700 times, and
And
you know
all
what?
just
It
that-
worked.
Over
It
the
worked.
past 3 days.
$1,300. When she found the button on the page, the next page read, "Am I married to copy?" That's something every student has to answer. Are you married to copy? Are you in an open relationship with copy?
How
Are
many
you copy
students
just
have gotten
hooking up?
through it?
And is the button always there, or does it get activated after a certain amount of clicks?
The button is there after a certain number of clicks. After a student has clicked 2,000 times, the button appears. But still, you can't see it. It just appears. And they have to try to find it.
It's like a
That
sort
is
of converting
brilliant.
to Judaism thing where you have to ask 3 times, be told no.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And then the next
Genius.
page says, "Am I married to copy? What's my relationship with copy? Am I even attracted to copy? Am I hooking up with copy because copy's the only one showing me attention? Maybe I don't want to be married to copy. Maybe marriage is a construct."
So do you
And these
like
are the
the
kinds of-
students to say no at that point? Because so far they've said yes. Is this a kind of like a trick thing where you want them to say no? Or
Well, this is
there-
actually a written answer.
So it becomes like a sort of SAT test.
SAT.
They can write it out here.
They can actually write out what is your relationship to copy. And some of the most brilliant students, the answers are trash. They've done so well in the course up until this point, and then they don't know how to answer, "Am I married to copy?" You should see people stumble. You should see people stumble. I'd like to invite all of you to my studio to watch on a telecast students stumble across the website. It's
I
brilliant.
would.
So
I
your
love
studio.
that.
I would love for you guys.
You have a
to
brick
do
and
that,
mortar studio to watch.
I just
website.
watch people on the website.
I would love that. I would love that.
Yes.
I would love that. I mean, my method, first of all, I will say I have had an on-again, off-again relationship with copy myself.
Yes, okay.
Over the course of several years.
What's the longest you've been together?
I was married to copy for 6 months. I was married to copy for 6 months. I was actually a copywriter at an insurance company. This was when I was 21 years old.
Wow.
And I would consider that married to copy. I was making copy every day. Copy was my partner.
Sure.
Now,
Bono.
Now, Copy and I, we're poly. Me and Copy are poly. We bring people on because for me, acting is just being yourself, and that's why anyone can do it.
Yeah.
So I like to bring people in, and I like to break them down. I like to say, that's not you. That's not you. That's not you. That's not you. Who are you? Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? Who are you? And I say, throw the script away. Throw the script away. Throw the script away. And I
Now, did
go
you
after
train
them.
in Mozambique? Did you train in Mozambique during?
No.
Script-aways?
I trained in Marina Del Rey.
Wow.
And, and
Just
I haven't
like
gone far.
generally.
On the actually Venice, I guess, the free gyms or the muscle gyms.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Are you talking
One of my
about
favorite
athletics?
acting
Oh, you
studios.
train physically.
Yes,
physically.
because I don't believe that you need to have any sort of training to be an actor. You have to be yourself. So
Well, how do you make money? How do you pay the rent?
technically, I am a nonprofit. I'm a charity, and I don't receive any money. But you can't enter my studio unless you bought my book, The Daisy Method. And so technically, I am a book salesman. And that book has a lot of games in it. It is good for all audiences. Anything you need is
Well, can we
in
play
there.
one of the games from your
Let's
book?
play it. I would
I'd
love
to
a
play
live,
game.
Yeah, we
a
can play
live
a game.
acting exercise.
It's kind of more of a word searches and crossword puzzles. It's more
Oh, it's not
it's like
necessarily
a
acting.
visual.
Let's all work together. I won't look at it. Let's just do a word search.
well, here's
do research
I did make my own a version of Wordle. I call it Dirtle because my name is Delilah Daisy. So if you guys want to play,
Because your name
it's
is
just,
Jersey.
It's just the same. It's just the same as Wordle, but it's acting phrases. So it's 5 letters.
Sure.
Go for it. Somebody say a word.
How about
Slate.
Slate. Mind meld.
Slate. Okay.
Mind.
Gray, green, yellow, gray.
And when people are buying
My
the
brain
book,
is
they
broken.
can do
My brain
this.
is broken.
They text you to let them know.
Yeah, how do they do this? How do they communicate?
The answers are in the back of the book. I don't see what they do, but you wanted to play a game. I'm playing a game.
Oh, got it.
Gray, green.
So
Getting
we've got the
very
A locked
angry.
in. There's
Yeah.
a T somewhere else in the word.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, is it acting?
That is 6 letters.
Go.
Didn't work. We got the
Okay,
reject.
what about acting? Urban way of saying
Is acting your official? Is acting your official guess?
Yeah.
Sure.
Green.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Wow, incredible.
Crazy that A moved to the beginning but still was green. Wow, I love that
I don't make
method.
the
I
rules.
really love, and maybe I can include that in my method. And I
That
find
taught me so
method.
much.
I find method
Absolutely.
one of the most important thing, and to have your own method is so important. We have
I
a
do
thing.
have my own method. Oh,
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, what is yours?
Mine is no. I shouldn't speak on it. Method Man, but I slept with him.
Wow.
That's my
How did that happen?
Well, I was at a concert, a Wu-Tang Clan.
Ah,
And,
love that.
Wu-Tang Clang?
That's
that
this
the-
version of the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh,
Yes,
my
exactly.
kids love those. I got a kid
Wu-Tang
who booked
Clan.
the Wu-Tang Clan.
It's like the kids'
He's
Bop
incredible talent.
Yeah. It was like the Kids Bop version. And he came because he was actually a vocal coach for Wu-Tang Clan. And
Wow.
because he loved that they were paying homage to the original Wu-Tang. And so
I love when they say Wu-Tang Clang ain't nothing to fiddle with. I love it.
And then they
Love it.
wiggle their noses.
But my apologies. My apologies, Tricky. You were going to speak on a method. I'm sorry, and I misunderstood, and I shared something. I
No,
shouldn't
and
have.
I will say I'm sorry. I've never hooked up with Method Man, but my acting approach is we have a great saying in the studio shoe store: find the size that fits. So basically, what I'll do is
Sure.
I'll
Can
lay
I
out.
ask? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
how
go ahead.
much of a percentage of the shoe store does the shoe store know you're doing acting classes?
Yeah, is this a partnership?
They kind of know. So
Or are you
basically,
doing it guerrilla style where a student kind of comes in and you whisper them sort of acting lessons as they're
that
trying
is
on
for
shoes?
private coaching. So for private coaching, which happens during the day, I will let them try on a shoe. We'll go into the fitting room and we'll work on their audition. During the night, Mr. Gregory gives me the keys, tells me to lock up. I take the midnight shift, lock up around 6 p.m. Classes start at 6:30. He has no idea.
And is Gregory his first name or his last name?
His name is Mr. Gregory, so it's both his first name and his last name.
So his
name
first
is Gregory
name is
Gregory.
Mr. Oh, okay.
Okay.
No,
I-
Mr.
yeah,
would
I
be
was thinking-
insane. His name
I
is
think
Gregory
that makes
Gregory.
sense.
He
I got his first
only
name.
sells old shoes, and gosh, the guy complains. The guy complains.
Oh, wow.
Business isn't good. We can't sell a damn thing
I
in
tell you
here.
what,
Who are all
I
these
can't
people? Yeah?
I can't stand a complainer. Does he want to sell shoes or not? Do you,
Exactly,
What do you
and-
want? What do you
Do you
Get
want?
really
in or
want
get
it?
out.
Yeah, if
Exactly.
he doesn't want it, he's gotta go.
And I've
gotta
talked to him because
go.
a lot of my approach is based in how you approach the work. You know, it's not necessarily how the outcome of, but how you feel going into it. So
How you show up.
how you could be the worst actor doing the worst, literally the worst thing anybody's ever seen. But if you feel good about it, who am I to say anything? You know, if you feel good about it and you're paying me a little bit of money, I'm happy. So
Here's a fun question. Who's the worst actor everyone here has ever seen?
Oh, easy.
Easily Meryl Streep.
I'd have to say Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Meryl Streep. Dwayne the
That's so funny, Barry, because I feel like you would love him. Of all people, you would
No,
love
I
him.
mean, I coach him, and he came to my studio bad. But he picked up, and speaking of methods, I wanted to say he picked up on my method, which are these core values, which is perseverance, strength.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just those two,
Sure.
great. That's amazing.
Perseverance, strength, faith, and I'm missing some of them.
Right. All right. We're past.
I've got a question for you, Barry. How many people come into your acting studio expecting a workout class?
It's very clear at the location we're at that it's an acting school. It's just the online inquiries and the phone calls that are nonstop for Barry's boot camp.
What's your method? I would love to get in because you worked with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That's insane.
Yeah, no, I work with some pretty big guys. And I create a space where men who don't feel like they can be vulnerable can be that in a strong and powerful way. We work scenes in a wrestling ring.
Sure.
So that also may be why some people think that it is a gym. We have barbells.
Yeah, what's the percentage of people who show up for their first time with towels and workout gear?
Denise, I love how much you love percentages.
Yeah, you're
I
a
love
numbers.
percentages.
You're
I'm a
numbers
numbers
gal.
I'm a STEM major.
You
Teaching
you are?
acting, that's
Me.
I was going to
fantastic.
be a biochemical engineer, and I said no. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Full of bullshit in that world. I don't want to deal with any of that. I just want to
You
be...
do no bull for you.
And I'm noble. I'm noble, so it was not a match. It was not a match. Nothing personal against STEM as an industry, but it was bull, and so it wasn't a match.
But okay, I want to hear other people's bad students and what you did to
Meryl
break
Streep.
through.
Meryl Streep. She's not a commercial actress. She just can't do it. She doesn't have it.
Oh, God,
she might be able
wow.
to win an award here and there, but she's never won a commercial award. Never has. And she came to my class. She came to my class and she wrote me a nasty email after. She said, "I have never seen exploitation of this degree in Los Angeles." Nasty email.
But you know what?
That's
Those
a nasty
commercial
email.
awards are hard to get.
The Mersheys?
The
The
Mersheys.
Mersheys.
I had
Oh,
a
the
kid go to the
Mersheys.
Mersheys once. She was Lily from Modern Family, the child.
Yeah.
Wow.
She was
Yeah,
a baby
she's doing
and then
really
she became
well.
a
Was
child.
was she the young girl or the baby version of Lily?
Oh, she was the baby. The baby had the talent. The toddler, not so much.
Yeah.
But the baby version of Lily,
Of course,
she
yeah.
went on to do a Skittles commercial, and she won a Mershey, and she was only 4 years old. Didn't even know what was happening.
Amazing.
Crowd
I
was
think those
screaming before
awards
she saw.
themselves, I think the awards are too big. If I'm being honest, the Mersheys are massive.
Yeah, none of my
You mean
clients
actual-
could hold them.
Yeah, the actual statue, it's incredible.
The statue
it's
is gotta be looks 300, 400 pounds.
It's
you have to book a U-Haul. If you win, you've got to book a U-Haul.
Yeah,
It's so sad. There are so many U-Hauls parked outside the Dolby Theater by people who think they're gonna win.
Mortifying. I was working with the Berries and Cream guy during that era.
No.
And I remember
What?
it was
That
so
was
embarrassing.
devastating.
Wow.
It was so embarrassing.
Wow.
He had 2 U-Hauls because he was up for 2 commercials. He had them ready, and he had to send them home early because guess who got it? Jamie Lee Curtis again.
Yeah. Jamie Lee
for-
Curtis.
Yeah.
Every
Activia.
year. She
Activia.
shows up for one
Activia.
Activia a year and she sweeps every time.
The girl
Every
yogurt.
single time. Every time.
The girl.
Well, one of my
Yogurt has a
one of my
gender.
most.
No, please continue. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say one of my most famous
I
students
just don't know
that I've ever worked with.
it's got a gender.
Do you want to speak?
What?
I just don't know. Oh, I'm sorry. No, please go ahead. No, please.
No, please, you go ahead.
ahead,
You go
Tricky.
ahead.
No, please.
Yo, you go ahead.
No, please. I apologize. Please.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Jeff.
So what?
Yeah, please.
I was gonna say one of my most
I just
famous.
don't know if yogurt has a gender.
Really, go
No,
ahead. Yeah, go ahead. No, that's
No, please.
No, Esther,
Please.
I am
think
such a big fan of you.
everything that
I
can-
actually clicked
No.
through to the first 3 pages. Did not make it past the 4th, but I almost
understand.
signed up.
No.
So
Tricky, I've spoken so much. I've said plenty on this discussion. I would really love to hear what you have.
and yet I have yet to hear what your method is. I am so interested if there's if
So
you
are
teach
people so
something.
confused?
I
Are
thought she
people so
said
confused about my-
exploitation.
Well, no, I did it. Meryl Streep, that bitch, said exploitation.
Yeah, I've heard
I
things
did-
about
Right.
her. I've
No,
heard
but I'm
terrible
sorry.
things.
No, Tricky, it doesn't need to be about me. Tricky, you were going to say something, and I would love
I
to
want to
because
hear
I
about
think
your
that-
method. Really, I want to dial into
no,
this method.
Please.
I really want to hear from you, Tricky.
I'm
I'd
zipping-
really love
look,
for you.
I'm
Tricky, come on, stand into your power.
Tricky,
Okay.
I'm zipping
Okay.
my lips up.
Okay. Well, what I was gonna say is one of my most famous students.
I just don't know if yogurt has a gender.
Miss Soggy Bottom, you look like you're about to explode.
You're
holding
really caught up
something
on if yogurt has a gender.
Well, it does.
Barry,
Look
what gender is yogurt?
Oh, me? Yogurt's a woman.
Oh, okay.
Because she's silky smooth, baby.
Thanks, Barry. What I would love to know from everyone, and no bull on this, no bull, okay? Has anyone... What is everyone's
I just
acting
don't understand. I
experience
just wondered
before?
why.
Yes, I'm so sorry, Miss Soggy Bottom. Go ahead.
I just wondered why Barry said girl yogurt when you said Activia. If all yogurt is girl, why was that one distinct? But I'm sorry, please.
Is that one
please,
extra
please.
girl?
I was curious
Denise,
about that
please,
too.
Denise, please disregard. I would love to hear what you're saying because you're brilliant. You're brilliant. Please disregard.
Well, no, you really poked a hole in something Barry was saying, and I think the FBI is motioning that they would
I'm
like
just
to
really
hear what
curious
is going on with
why
that.
I just want why Barry would say girl yogurt if it's all girl and silky smooth.
Yes, exactly.
Why? And that's
If you
all.
Soggy
want to
Bottom.
talk about this, we can talk about this.
I don't need to talk about anything. I'm actually quite intrigued listening to each of you speak.
Well, this
So
is
we
actually
get different
exactly like most
perspectives.
acting classes, and I'm interested. Just a follow-up question to Barry's answer: how much time of your acting classes is just you talking about how you
Why
feel
did you say
and
that it was
different
girl
things?
yogurt, Barry?
Miss Soggy Bottom, we have addressed what you're asking under everyone else's questions. We have addressed it. We have. Barry has answered the question.
I
Miss
rue
Soggy
the
B.
day I ever said yogurt was a woman because this is an awful nightmare that we
classic
Got
have.
Barry
cancel
Fig
culture.
out here ruining. I hate it when Barry Fig
No,
moves.
I don't want to rue. When if you're gonna make a good jambalaya, you need a roux. I'll say that.
Okay.
Is that from Mozambique? Did you learn that in Mozambique? I've heard they
make a
make the
great
best
jambalaya in
jambalayas.
Mozambique. Best jambalaya in the world, Mozambique. But anyway, I'm sorry. You were saying something.
I
Denise.
think we have been
No.
demolished.
Well, Denise, what were you saying?
I think.
Denise,
okay,
you were
okay,
saying-
okay. This is what I wanted
Please,
to know,
please.
and it was no bull. Right. Okay. Has anyone been an actor before this, and how
But
successful
why
were
was
they?
it then?
and
It was then. It was.
Yes. Yes. Okay. We're talking about.
Okay, maybe this will
Okay.
fix it. I do believe that some yogurts have manly qualities.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
don't change your opinion, Barry. If you
really
change your
don't need
opinion
to
now, we're
hop
going to have
on
more
this.
questions.
Yeah, we don't have to hop on this.
Concede.
I would really love to move on from the yogurt discussion.
You know the yogurts
ideally.
that they make for kids with the Oreos on
Go-Gurt.
top?
Oh, Go-Gurt. No. Oh, the other one.
Oh, yeah,
Danimals?
Go-Gurts too.
Danimals?
Danimals?
Danimals a boy.
Danimals
Okay.
a boy. Okay.
Danimals-
Miss Soggy before we move on, are you set with that answer? Do you have any
Yeah, I
more
want to make sure
questions?
you're okay.
I'm set. Zipping up my lips and throwing away the key.
Well, I don't know if you guys mind. I just posted a bit of copy, a couple sides in passing it out to you guys. I was just really interested because, you know, my method is always evolving. I want to see.
It's like short for
Danimals is Danon Animals. It's a children's brand of yogurt. That does
So
feel
why?
male. I do agree it
So
does
why?
because Zach
Why
and
is it-
Cody were
why
attached
is
to it
it
when we
boys?
were younger, so
I'm
it
just
Yeah, that's
inherently
boys.
feels.
All my
Everyone else-
boys read for the Zach and
just
Cody
how
parts, and then in
everyone-
the end they gave it to Zach and Cody.
Everyone else seems to know it's boy, but I just don't know.
I can't wait to listen back to this to hear
So
what
I
Miss
just wanna
Soggy
pass
is
around
saying.
these sides
It's like
to
you're
see.
talking to a dear friend. It's like you're talking to a dear friend.
I
on
can't
the
hear
phone.
a word.
It's so gentle and so kind.
The listeners will be able to hear because the audio will be clear, but I cannot hear a thing.
So it's just. Sure, it's just. I'll say this and I'll shut up. I've made a fool of myself. When Barry says Danimal yogurt is a boy, I said, is it because that's short for Daniel? And then, unfortunately, Tricky chimed in to say it's actually
Unfortunately.
Dan, an animal. Tricky chimed in.
Okay, so you're mad that
Daniel.
Tricky
Not like
interrupted
we-
you.
Because-
Hold on a
and
minute.
Dan
You're
and
mad
an
that Tricky
animal.
interrupted you. You're mad that
No.
Tricky. Okay.
Well, give me a moment to place my feeling. Just let me give it.
Great, because I can tell you that I think we all feel interrupted, Miss Sagiwara.
You're lying. Swear to God. Swear to God.
I am not lying. I am no bull. You did interrupt me, but you know what? I feel honored.
Oh my!
I feel honored.
No,
I'm not
no.
mad.
Oh my God!
It's just
oh my God.
it's just a fact
I'm
that you interrupted.
embarrassed.
That you're
I'm
doing
embarrassed.
it right now.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I'm going to zip up. Let's just talk about the copy that that Tricky has forwarded.
Yeah, so I passed around this copy, these sides, and I'm really interested about how you guys would coach somebody like this.
I do have a question. I've moved on from the yoga, but are we married to copy in this case, or is that a personal decision?
I'm interested in seeing it for you. I mean, are you going to coach somebody to improvise, or are you going to, so the copy is, I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated. How could you do this to me? We've been married for years. How would you coach somebody on those? I mean, this is like, you're not given anything else. And this could be a commercial for sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I would argue this is a commercial. It's very clearly a commercial for Oreos. How could you do this to me? If you rearrange the letters, it's an anagram for double stuffed Oreos, right?
And that's famously how they make commercial sides, is they change around the letters, but it keeps the
It's
intent.
like a little puzzle for the viewers to figure
No, I
out
know
what
puzzles,
they should
yeah.
be buying.
I've had
Right,
commercial
right.
sides as games
I
in my
would-
You
books.
know all about puzzles, Delilah.
Now, I'm going to give this to you guys for free. I would tell a student to try Pick Latin. Just Pick Latin.
Okay.
Make them remember you. And I don't usually
Wow.
do this kind of coaching. I've got favorites, of course. I've got a favorite or two student, and that student I would tell, try
I
Pick
have so
Latin.
many
You'll stand out.
So like, ow, hey, k.
No, this is bad. No, this is really bad.
I'd be
This is
devastated day.
What about this?
I-
What about this? Okay, I'll
That's
coach
really
Tricky
bad.
because the rest of you are women. Tricky, I want you to say this line, and I want you to be so freaking strong and stiff.
Okay, yeah. I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated. How could you do this to me?
Be a roar.
We've been married for years.
Oh, brilliant.
That was really
Brilliant.
good.
Yeah, that was all right.
That
was all right.
I'd like to
All
try.
right.
Okay,
no
yeah, go
bull.
ahead.
Why don't you coach him?
Okay.
somebody-
Yes.
try.
Okay. Tricky. So I noticed.
said I'd like
I'm
to
trying to
try.
think of in these sides.
Boss.
Yes, Miss Soggy Bottom. Do you want to coach Tricky first?
No, of course not.
Of course. Okay, so my question would be, where would the bite and like be in this, right? Where is he eating an Oreo and smiling? And I would say it comes right after we've been married, right? We've been married, bite, like it, for years. I'm hearing mumbling.
I swear it sounds like she's talking to a friend.
Do you have some sort of
us.
Do you have some sort of confession camera or secret
I've been on a
diary
phone call
you're
this
keeping?
entire
You've been on a phone call
this entire
Okay.
time.
So if we hear you speaking lowly, we'll just assume that you're speaking on the phone.
Yes.
Okay.
And
But
I'm
this
sorry,
is a
I
deposition.
thought I was muting.
Right,
Yeah,
this is
I'm
also
sorry, I
a
thought I was-
formal deposition.
You thought
I
you
thought
were
I was
muting?
I'm sorry. I
You were speaking. You thought
Denise
you were muting?
Noble. I thought I was muted. I thought I was
Oh.
muted.
Okay.
I thought I was
Okay, let me
muted.
try it with Miss
so sorry.
Noble's.
Yes, please. The technique. Mm-hmm.
I'm devastated. I'm absolutely devastated. How could you do this to me? We've been married
It's not taking a note too well.
for years. So I
you
heard
didn't
I
like
wasn't
that, Miss
taking the note too
Sogibottom?
well. I'm not an actor. I am a teacher. I'm a coach. I do not take notes well.
I thought he did okay.
those.
My one note is that when you bit it, it didn't really seem like you liked it.
Yeah, I could definitely work on this. Well, look at me. I'm getting free acting coaches to take home. Miss
I
Sogibottom, you
would
want to
really
coach
like
me?
to try. I would actually really like to try myself.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to try myself. Years for married been weave. Me to this. Do you could how? Devastated. Absolutely, I'm devastated. I'm.
Weirdly
So you
worked.
read the whole thing backwards.
I'll buy an Oreo.
Yeah, I'm really craving an Oreo right now.
You have to make yourself stand out as an actor. Do something
do.
obnoxious. You have to
So
do
you
something
read all the
obnoxious.
words backwards? That's your advice? To read all the lines
Well,
backwards.
that's what I felt I could do to make myself stand out. But pick Latin. Read it backwards. Only read some of the words. Choose to read every third word.
What page are
do-
people getting this information on?
How
This
much
is
money
on-
in are they when they
About
receive the advice, read the sides backwards?
Sure. $47,000
Oh my
and
God.
50 cents. They are that deep. But these are people who want it. They want it. They make an impression. Do you know how many times my clients have been called in to 200 South? They get calls regularly. Come. We've got something for you. We really think this is going to be it. It's going to be this is a big campaign.
It
My
feels
students get
like
called.
your clients would probably waste casting directors' time a lot because
No.
they're saying the
What makes-
words wrong.
Well, you're also someone who said yogurt was gendered. And I can't get over it.
I knew you could get over
I
that.
can't express enough how much I rue the day I said it.
Barry,
you're
you're
gonna make
full
a
of regrets.
If you're going to make a jambalaya, you need a kudru.
Miss Sogibottom, my question, I did want to ask you, when people come into 200 South, do you say hi to them?
Because you're at 201. You're right at the
I'm
Petco.
201. I do stand outside and I wave to the students I know. Some go, there's that bitch. And some don't know who I am. Because I don't have any photographs of myself on the site. I don't want to be
it's just
famous.
a bunch of
I don't want to
orange.
be famous. And guess what, guys? I don't want to be rich either. The money I make from these students, I put into my bank account, but I don't want to be rich.
Well,
I
and
don't-
there was that. I think they know your face from that damning HBO docuseries that they did about you.
Which one?
Oh, yeah, there were a
several
couple.
have been- there was a
Oh yeah, it was a
Stars and
Firefest
Showtime.
situation. Hulu
Yeah,
and Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, Hulu,
soggiest
Netflix.
bottom, isn't that what they called it?
I
so-
liked the one. I clicked this blank website 50,000 times and look where I am.
Oh,
And I
that
liked
BuzzFeed video that they
Oh,
made.
that BuzzFeed. 10 times I clicked this. Yeah, absolutely.
I liked the Hulu one because they were able to book you for it. You agreed to sit down for
Yes,
it.
yes. I said, at one point, I said, there's a page on the site that kind of when you go to it, it was broken for some time. It was sending people to GoDaddy, okay? And so I had people emailing me say, I just paid $25,000 and I'm on GoDaddy. And I'd say, you know what? I will suck your dick if you don't press charges. I'll suck your dick if you don't press charges. I was desperate. When that happened, I was really embarrassed.
How are you
I can
desperate?
see
They're
that.
$25,000 in. They're $25,000 in.
And
this happened more than one time, and you
that
offered to
makes-
suck their dick as a reflex?
Yes, as a reflex. But everybody didn't have a dick. Well, sure, everyone did have a dick. Some people have small ones. Some people have clits.
Now that sounds like my acting class.
Yeah, what you don't teach people with clits. You only teach
No.
people with dicks. But Denise Noble, you've got a giant clit, yeah? What size?
Absolutely massive.
What would you compare it to if it were a fruit?
Oh,
Are we
okay.
talking-
Oh, well, this messes up my answer. This isn't exactly a fruit per se, but you know a regular sized pickle? It's
Sure.
not that. So it's one of those mini pickles
Okay.
Okay.
that you get in a jar. So it's
like a gherkin.
like a gherkin, exactly.
Still big for a clit.
It's about
big for a
200
clit.
times
Yeah.
as big as a clit should be.
That sounds like
General.
yeah. That
Yeah,
sounds fine.
That's big.
Tricky, can I do my acting method on you?
Oh,
Yes, I would love that.
Oh,
That would be
Okay,
great.
great.
yeah, sure.
So look at the
So
words.
excited.
Look
What's
at the
it
words.
gonna be? A
look at the
word
words.
puzzle?
Okay,
A word
Shut your
search?
I'm
mouth.
looking it over. I'm looking
You're
it
gonna
over.
play
words?
Wordle live. That's what you're gonna do.
No, that's in my book. I'm in class right now. Look at the words.
Okay.
Throw them out. Throw them out. Talk to me. Look at me. Look at me.
Oh,
Look in
yeah,
my eyes.
okay.
Look in my
Okay.
eyes.
Yeah.
Tell me about a time you were upset.
You should
Talk
really
about
be
it.
looking at the words still.
No. I'm devastated. I absolutely.
Yeah.
No. Don't look at the words. Don't look at the words. Talk to
No,
me.
I
Look to
think
me.
it's
Look
good.
to
I
me.
think
Look to me.
it's
Tricky,
good.
look to me
He's
in the
looking
eyes.
at the words.
Talk to me at a time you were upset.
I think he should be looking at the words.
You say, like sometimes I get upset because some people,
No.
don't come
Miss
into
Soggy
the
Bottom,
fore.
is the person on your phone call listening to this as well?
I have the person on the phone.
Okay, you know what? Use this.
actually-
Use all of this. Use this distraction.
Yeah.
Okay, use this. Use this.
Well, this feels
use this
exactly like
distraction.
when my wife actually left me. It was
Great. What did you
don't
say to her?
believe
What did you say
We
to her?
don't believe
I,
you. We don't
um,
believe you. I don't believe you.
Esther,
I don't
put the
buy it.
phone
I don't
closer.
buy
I
it.
can't hear
I
him.
don't buy it. Okay. He'll listen to this. I don't buy
well,
it.
I
don't believe
said,
him.
I said,
believe him.
honey,
don't
why,
That
believe
works
it.
right there.
why are you leaving
I
me?
already
What was
don't
her name?
believe
What was
it.
her name?
Her name
I
was
don't believe it.
Trisha.
What would
You
she
made
say
that
to you?
up.
Would she say, "You're
He
not
made
good
that
enough,
up.
are you,
A
Tricky?"
person named
She
Tricky
said,
married to a
she said,
Trisha?
I'm not
No
good
way.
enough. This acting
You're not
class
good
is
enough.
never going to work.
I'm
This
leaving
is
you.
really
It's
Hey,
never
thanks
gonna
for
work.
conferencing
Yeah.
me into this FaceTime. Sounds like a
course.
really good
It's
scene.
actually
Okay.
it's a
I'm
deposition.
breaking
Well, it's also a
down.
deposition.
Yes, you're breaking down. You're breaking down.
Roll
Admitted
call
that
on
she
the
was
phone call.
sleeping.
Fuck
It's
you,
me.
said Trisha.
Johnny!
Fuck you, said Trisha.
Yeah,
Fuck you, said
and then-
Trisha. Trisha
Fuck
says
you,
fuck
Trisha.
you.
I'm
Fuck you,
devastated.
Trisha.
This is really
I'm
bad.
absolutely
This is really
devastated.
bad.
This kid
Well, now
can't
I'm eating my
handle
tuna
this
sandwich.
to me.
Yeah, and I know. Now I'm
been
eating a tuna
married
sandwich.
for
I'm so
years.
bored. I'm eating a tuna sandwich.
Oh,
I
what
haven't
kind
had
of
tuna
tuna?
in years. Oh, chicken of the sea in olive oil.
Oh,
A
like the
little-
cat food.
That felt
Silence.
really good.
Miss Soggy Bottom, you're not eating a tuna sandwich. You haven't been. I heard all of that.
Yeah, tuna's a boy food. You're not
Okay.
eating tuna.
But regardless, while all of that was happening, Tricky, that was fantastic work. Did that feel good?
That felt really good.
Yeah.
It felt like I didn't even need the shoes. The
Thank
shoes
you.
were nothing. I didn't need to put
Tricky,
on
I
a
have
pair
to
of
be honest.
old moccasins to
You
act.
you earned yourself a Sudoku. Take the book.
That's your reward.
That's your reward.
Tricky, I wasn't impressed. I was eating a sandwich.
You weren't
in my
listening.
mind, I was in my mind.
Not
my
Yeah, no.
mind-
Well, I love
In
feedback.
my
I'm
mind,
open to
I
it.
was eating a sandwich. I was eating a chicken of the sea, tuna fish sandwich.
So
Your
what could I
friends
have
got
done
very
better?
loud over FaceTime
and,
for a
and then
moment.
my friend, I sure did. I turned the volume up on my friend because I said I don't believe him. He's got to pull me back in. He's got to pull me back into this commercial. Commercial is 30 seconds. You're
Yeah,
in and
30
you're out.
seconds.
You're
Just
in
as
and
quick
you're
as an
out.
afternoon. In
Yeah.
and out.
Well,
Yeah.
well, no. An afternoon is a little bit more than 30 seconds, I'd say. But
Feels
that's
like
just
it.
me. That's just me.
It's
and
the
you know,
shortest
you
of
didn't
the-
pull,
of the
you
times
didn't
of day.
pull-
Sure.
Of the
we talked
three, yeah.
But
You
actually,
didn't
it's
pull
not. Morning is like 9 to 12, right? Or 9 to 11, maybe.
No, I think morning starts at 4.
Let's make sure we
Mornings.
nail this down.
Sure. This
Morning
incredible.
feels like sun is up is
actually-
morning.
Look, here's the deal. Where I am, it is morning, and I've actually quite enjoyed getting to know each of you. I'm going to say, Denise, you do have what it takes to be an actor in this town. Should you ever choose to
Wow. Wow, that's
leave the
incredible.
Whoa.
educating, I'm going to say, Tricky, you know my stance on you.
Yeah.
I unfortunately don't think you have what it takes. In fact, I think you should close up shop and just sell the shoes. Just sell the shoes.
Well,
No
I was-
acting stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
was
That's
close
what you
before.
do. You should just be honest.
Delilah,
Yeah.
I think you're going to do great background work. I actually think you're going to do great You've got a great
That is
look.
a massive insult.
No, you can sit around and you got all those puzzles. You gotta
And
kill
there's
time.
crafty.
That's it.
there's
That sounds
craft-
like your heaven,
There's
Delilah.
crafty. There's
There's
crafty.
crafty.
I know.
Crafty.
8 hours in holding
you.
to do Sudokus. What could be better? This sounds like your dream.
Yeah. And Barry. I want to go to your church. I want you to go back to pastoring. I want to go to your church.
I won't go back to pastoring. They won't have me back. They won't have me back.
What happened?
I rue the day they kicked me out.
Well, if you're going to make a jambalaya, you know what you need.
What?
You know what you need.
And Esther, I've got to say, even though you were cutting
please.
off, my acting and all this stuff,
I was cutting people off me.
I've got to say there was something so enchanting about you. I could watch you on the silver screen every day of my
Yeah.
life. You should.
Was I cutting people off?
Esther, can I ask who was on the phone? Who are those
was on the
loud?
phone?
Who are those loud characters on the phone?
It was my auntie. My auntie.
That was not your auntie. That sounded like an old agent. That was your auntie?
My auntie is
Well,
an
there were
agent
two.
of mine.
There was the
There was
old
two.
man and the old auntie-sounding person.
Because there was an auntie that sounded
There was an auntie.
strictly auntie.
Yes, there was an auntie, and then there was an old agent. My aunt. So I'm related to an agent by marriage.
Which agent?
So, which agent? CAA. I'm related
Oh,
to.
You by marriage are connected to CAA.
Which and you want CAA. He is CAA.
Oh, he's creative. He's creative arts.
Yeah, artist. He's creative artist agency.
Wow.
Anyway.
You know what? Maybe we end this by giving everyone
was I
our
cutting
our.
people off. That's just, okay. Not like me.
Maybe we end this by giving everybody the one piece of advice that we end class with.
Great idea.
Okay.
Great. So I'll start. Look in the mirror and take that to work, because that's all you need.
Amazing.
I say, kids, no bull. Fuck out of here with that bad attitude. You fucking hear me? Go home. And then they come right back.
Yeah. Of course.
I grab a chapter book in my hands and I say, "Buck up, losers, and it's time to," and I throw the book and I say, "We'll book."
It's time to will book.
Will book.
It's time to will book.
You cut yourself off. Go time to throw the
Sure.
book, and then go will book.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Well, I say no matter what the shoe is, it looks great on you.
I don't know if they're giving
And
good advice or if
That's
it's
great
useful
because
advice.
it works as both shoe
Just
advice
feels
and
like-
character advice.
I don't
so
know
it's
if it's
kind
good
of perfect.
advice.
Well, no,
It's
I
kind
can't
of-
put the phone close again. I can't hear him.
Okay, yeah. Are you hearing this advice? Yeah.
I love this advice.
Something,
I'm trying to write
something
it all
about my
down.
method has completely
I'm
triggered
trying to write
Esther.
it all down.
Honey,
Seems like,
when are you
it seems
coming
like my
home to
approach
CAA?
to acting or something is
this-
just really triggering Esther's hatred towards
No!
He cannot see
Tricky,
you.
no.
She's
Tricky,
walking all
no.
over
Tricky,
you.
no. Tricky, I ultimately think you're fantastic, and I think you'd be a great shoe salesperson. I'd buy a pair of shoes from you.
Thank you.
I would buy
What's
a pair
your
of
acting
shoes from-
advice?
My acting advice. If I were to be succinct, I would say ask yourself, do I really want this? do
I had a feeling it would be that.
really want this? And then
I had a
you
fucking
might say,
feeling.
no, you know what? I don't want this after all. You might say that. I don't want this after all. No, thank you. Then you might say, yes, I do really want this. I know what I want and it's this. At which point I'd say, come on, be real with yourself. Do you really want it? Take a beat. Ask yourself, do you really want it? Are you willing to give up everything you've got for it? Is there no other job you can do and be happy? Okay? Then say, no, you know what? There's other things I could do. I can work in tech. I could work in the fast food industry. I could be in the medical profession. Or say, yes, this is what I want. At which point, I'd say, take a beat. And ask yourself, all right, am I really ready to go after this?
I think
I'm
you're
really
just
ready
reading
to go
verbatim
after
off your website.
feel like you're
No,
clicking through it.
I'm being succinct.
Are you going to be upset? Are you going to be upset when all of this goes up and people can listen to this for free?
This is like the 8th page of your website.
I'm changing the website. I'm actually changing the website at the beginning of the month. So
good,
it's all
because you
right.
have all those interns.
Nobody will know. Nobody's getting free wisdom.
So
No,
everything you
never.
said is going to be completely different?
Sure. And then after that, find some copy that inspires you. A Taco Bell commercial, progressive commercial. I love Flo, favorite student. McDonald's
You're just
commercial.
summarizing your interview here today.
You're just summarizing the last 50 minutes
Okay,
of what
please,
you're talking.
please don't, please. I could, if I might ask that you not interrupt me, because I am trying to be succinct.
Yeah, this isn't succinct. This is a summary.
I am trying to be succinct here, and find just something, commercial that's made you feel something. Maybe it's an Apple commercial. Maybe it's a Walmart. Find that copy. If you can't find the copy online on a forum somewhere, on Quora, Reddit, just listen to it. Find it on YouTube. Find it on
Quora.
YouTube. And transcribe it for yourself. Transcribe it. And then memorize it. Plant it deep in your heart. And sure, the commercial's been done already, but manifest. Maybe you'll get to do one. Maybe you'll get to do one with the script just like it. Maybe you won't.
You say this at the end of every class.
Please, if you could just not interrupt me and hold all the applause and questions until the end.
Fine.
So, then say, now what's my relationship to this copy? I don't want to be married to it. I don't want to be in an open relationship with it. Do I just want to see it sometimes? We kind of both do. The copy does its thing and I do my thing, and we meet up after a fun Friday night. You're drunk, I'm drunk, copy's drunk. And we say, maybe copy wants to come over. And just find your relationship to it and own it. Yeah, that's, in short, what I'd say. In short, that is what I'd say. Yeah.
I can't believe I got in trouble for interrupting you.
That was quite rude, but there's grace and forgiveness for you, and I see the light in each of you, and I do think you're talented. Tricky, I do think you should stick to selling shoes. I think you're fantastic at that.
Thank you.
At that. It's so
No,
special.
thank you.
It looks like the FBI has just taken out 5 pairs of handcuffs, so...
This has been Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists, answering the question, no, that's why they call it show business. Good night.
Hi, I'm Angela Giarratana.
I'm Jeremy Culhane.
I'm Patrick McDonald.
And I'm Kylie Brakeman. Artists on Artists on Artists on Artists is an improvised Hollywood roundtable podcast available on iTunes and Spotify.
You can follow us at AOAOAOA Pod on Twitter and Instagram.
That's right, 4 A's with 3 O's in between, then pod.
Music for this week's episode was provided by Gabriel Ponton.
Stars, they're just like us. And if you like this episode, you can give us 5 of them by rating and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts. That's all for now. Good night, Hollywood.